Hey guys, we're gonna continue. I couldn't see the last video that I posted, so I went to repost it, and you guys know how long it takes to post videos on YouTube. So I realized later that my Wi-Fi was just acting silly, and it did post. So I ended up deleting the second video, and now I am exhausted, but I'm determined to get through this book. We're not gonna finish it completely tonight, but most of it. Like I said, we all have a voice. We all want to be heard, and when you're speaking your truth, when you're in alignment, your story will help heal people. Okay. All right. I needed to find my purpose. I had to get clean to face reality and to understand and be honest with myself and accept things for what they really are. Those few childhood memories are what stuck in my heart this entire time, and I managed to block out everything else. I gave credit and spoke highly of my brothers and sisters to people because from what I saw on social media, they were doing well. I called them at times to see how they were doing, and I'll admit there were times during active addiction when I fell behind on bills and I called them to ask for money, but I had no help for my brothers and sisters. Guys, you know, family will sit there and they will tell people that the only times, they, in my case, they would say the only time she ever calls is when she needs something or wants something. you know I used to be like, oh yeah, they're right, but a family should be by your side. A decent family should. Maybe you wouldn't have gone through that many struggles if you had them as your backbone. It would be different if they did help me. They didn't, you know? So, really, I had to learn a few times when I really, in fact, needed their help to just stop even trying to call them for help. But as I said, these were lessons that I had to learn. Guys, the point that I'm trying to make is that you can do it on your own. You can. You don't need anyone. In fact, it makes you a stronger human being, a stronger person, a better person. And you learn to appreciate stuff more. I gave credit and spoke highly of my brothers and sisters to people because from what I saw in okay, I read that already. Okay. I read that. My father helped me a total of 4 times since I was 16 years old, and that's the truth. Therefore, when my family says that I only called them when I needed money, it wasn't true. My conversations with my siblings became little to none. I want those of you that have done what I've done and made a fantasy image that you wanted people to think was real to understand that you are. Okay, this is what I meant to say. For those of you that put on an act and just wanted everyone on the outside to think that your family was perfect and you had it made, when in fact you were alone, I want you to know that you're beautiful and you can make it through it, okay? And you don't need anyone but yourself. But where we're trying to get you is to realize this. At the end of the day, I guarantee your so-called family is going to need you before you will ever need them. Mark my words. Don't open your door for them. Promise me that you will close that door and keep it shut until you know they have been through what you have been through and become decent human beings. Okay, we're going to rephrase this because this is what comes with the journey that I'm on, and what I've learned. It's not that you want them to go through what you've been through, because no one deserves to have to go through that. It's that you want them to actually, to have an ego death, to work from a heart space, to be compassionate, to be human, or to be loving. That's what you truly desire. No way in hell would I ever wish the things that I've gone through on my family. Never. Never, never, never. Actually, I'm grateful that I went through the things that I had to go through so that no one else in my family has to go through it, because they've witnessed and they've seen what it does to someone. I can honestly say that I am a generational curse breaker, because I'll be damned if any of my kids have to go through what I've been through. I'll be damned. So we rephrased that. So we did learn within a year's time. Yeah, something. Otherwise, don't waste another second on people who wouldn't do the same for you. And this is what I meant by a person's rejection is God's protection. You know, the more aligned that you become, the least friends that you have until you begin to make true, authentic friends that you meet your soul tribe, you know? Promise me this. I will tell you guys one thing my brother told me, and he was right. He said, make your own friends and family because the world is shit. And that will be the only advice that I'll take from him ever in my life. I remember him yelling at me saying, you need to make your own friends and family because the world's shit. You know, after this, well, even now, I don't think the world's shit. You know, you want to be the change that you wish to see in the world. And it takes one person at a time. It takes a family actually sticking together and not giving up on each other. You know what I see a lot of? People in families or anywhere just washing their hands clean of their brothers, sisters, fathers, disabled family members, wash their hands clean because they don't have time for them or they have enough problems. But I look at it this way: we can help each other solve these problems together. Guys, if you're going through anything like this or that I've gone through, just realize you were that gem. You still are. Diamond in the rough. God put you in plain sight. I stand my ground without ever again sugarcoating shit. Don't give credit to those who don't deserve it. Remember, they don't deserve it. Everyone, I pray that you become a leader and not a follower. I am taking action to change my paradigm. It wasn't until my brother saw my post for my documentary that he learned the truth. Then he literally lied to everyone and made them believe I was an addict, which I will always be a recovering addict. But at this point in my journey, I was getting clean, But he threw what he saw in my documentary, my truth, he manipulated it. He made that the reason for him taking my inheritance when he had already cut me off before he knew anything about it. We truly do have some shady motherfuckers in this world. But to make it so awful was he pretended that he knew all about it, but he actually didn't know about it. He never set foot in any of my homes I ever lived in, and he never cared to take either of my kids to lunch or to a park. You know the usual things you see uncles and aunts do? They were too consumed in their lives, which is understandable. Guys, I'm not going to say that it's understandable anymore. It's not. It's inconsiderate. It's not loving. Good people, good family, they don't do that to you. They make time for you because they truly care for you and they truly love you. So this is where I crack the whip. I no longer sugarcoat shit the way that I feel. I know the truth, and my brother can't gaslight me anymore. And I no longer am stuck in the not knowing, because why be stuck in the past when you're healing and you're growing at a higher speed, a higher rate than your family is willing to even try? Leave them where they're at, But my brother has and then I go to say, my brother has a son, and I know he's had a few birthdays. Not once was I ever invited to my nephew's birthday parties. You see, I was writing this, And it doesn't even matter anymore what I was invited to or not. It is what it is. The truth of the matter is I was alienated from my own biological family. They pushed me away. They didn't care. And this is okay, because I can guarantee you now that I care so much about myself, and I love myself and the people that are currently in my life. I have enough love for the universe. I don't need their love, you know? I just got to continue to pray for them, and I pray for my family like I pray for my homeless friends in the streets. They are no different. Some of my homeless friends in the streets are more family to me than my family has ever been. This is truth. And then I go to say, I would have been that aunt to spoil my nephews and nieces rotten. What upsets me is when you pretend to know me and when you never cared to have anything to do with me. Why do you have to go out of your way to try and tarnish my image? It's true, y'all. People like to kick you when you're down. Bad people like to kick you when you're down. Not realizing there's going to be a day, I'm not going to say you're going to kick their ass. You're just not even going to give them the time or day. Truly, you don't have a clue as to who I am. And I will never give you the pleasure of getting to know me. You know, you can give your family and your so-called friends many ample opportunities to take accountability after you know good and well that you've taken accountability for all your fuck-ups, all your mistakes. And some people will take their shit to the grave. Y'all, that's not how I'm going out. When I go out, I'm going out peacefully, you know, with a clear conscience. My heart is going to be as light as a feather. God's been good to me. And then I go to say, you've lost that opportunity. I've tried many times to be a part of my own family, and the truth is no one puts in the effort. No one in my family ever does. I always tried. I'm sick of putting in the effort alone. I want to live my life and start making my own friends and create my own family. Guys, you know, I wrote this book about a year ago, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. A little less than a year ago. Everything is aligning, and this is what I'm telling you. Guys, you can come out the mud, you know? It's harder when you realize you don't matter to the ones you love the way they matter to you. Guys, this is how I used to think. Now it's gotten to the point where it doesn't matter. I know now God has cleaned out what does not need to be in my life. And this is the most amazing feeling ever. I can just smile about it, you know? I'm free from toxicity. Wait, toxicity. Toxicity. I'm not trying to take on anyone else's karma. I've paid mine off big time. But it hurts a little bit. But then once you start to heal and you put all your faith and trust and hope into God and just leave everything to God, it doesn't even bother you anymore. It's just like, okay. You know? Okay. You know, this is really cool because as I'm reading, I'm like, I don't even want to read anymore. It's like I've grown so much and I've come so far. But like I'm almost done with the book, and I know when I shut this book, I'll never open it again. It will bring true closure for me. I'm already living in the present, and I've been doing some amazing things. When we complete this book, I will definitely get into you know, with new levels, there are new devils. I've had to learn a lot, and I have to learn a lot every day, especially when you learn that you are, in fact, a healer, and you are chosen, and you're very empathetic. I'm a sponge. I soak up all energies, and I got a lot to teach you guys. A lot. God is so good. I had the urge to leave Weirdo in Georgia, but I chose to go and pick him up. I just wanted to take a shower in the hotel room, shave, and wash my clothes in the bathtub. Literally, I was in the hotel bathroom for 4 hours, battling my thoughts, fears, and really just trying to figure out what my next move was going to be. I have always been told that in a relationship, your partner should respect you. Guys, my emotions were like a roller coaster right here. So I was picking fights when there was nothing to fight about. I was battling with my mind because I was so chemically imbalanced. I couldn't even control my thoughts, you know? He should, yeah. It says he should never hit you. And should, now I'm going to speak the truth here. Partner should respect you. He should never hit you and should always have your back and correct you later behind closed doors if needed. It goes both ways. During my addiction, I battled with morality. I tried so hard to be moral and I held on to the little bit of dignity I thought I had. Y'all, I've always had morals. It just took me waking up and getting sober to actually live morally, because doing drugs, not taking care of your kids like you should, not taking care of your vessel, okay, it's not being having moral. There's no dignity, there's no respect, there's no you just don't care about yourself, okay? When you are actively using drugs, I hate to say this, it's impossible to live morally, and it was hard as hell to hold this persona that I was a decent human being to everyone when my mind was clouded and it was at war constantly with good and bad the entire time. It was so hard to balance addiction with morality. I knew right from wrong, and I beat myself up every time I screwed up, because I knew right from wrong. Whenever I screwed up my priorities and I didn't put like my kids first, or I didn't take care of my responsibilities, but for the longest time I beat myself up about it. But now it's such a relief and such a blessing to know that these were things that we did when we were unhealed. And you have to forgive yourself for the things that you did while you were unhealed and you didn't know. How's that saying go? They know not what they do. Okay, it's in the Bible. They know not what they do. So in other words, you can't really, you gotta forgive people, because they know not what they do while they are unhealed. Okay, it was a job in itself. I excused Weirdo and my past behavior, and we made a vow that we would change and become better people for ourselves and for each other because we deserved it. During active addiction, I had a mouth on me, and as I have mentioned, addiction will not allow you under any circumstances to be in a good relationship. God will not allow it. It will be nothing but misery. Alright. It was crazy because the more that I type or write, the more I find myself going back and realizing the growth and learning where I stood at the time. Guys, this is why it's important for you to keep a notebook with you, to keep a pen with you, and to write everything. Because even a weeks of writing, you will see growth. You will see a change in the way that you think, the way that you move, the way that you love, your confidence. Yeah. I would eventually, in the beginning of the journey, it was all writing, and I would rush to the library and type everything up and have it printed. I was always at the library, but then I learned that you can rent a hotspot and a laptop, and from the library, and I got it, and I was in my tent in the dark, all night long, for a few months straight. This is what consumed me. I was pushed to do it, like, it's great. God wanted me to put my story in a book so that I can learn, so that I can heal, and it helped me, So try it. I find the exact I find the exact thing I went wrong and the action I should have chosen to prevent things ending up the way they did. So I would look at the problem. I would analyze it, and then I would find a solution. I taught myself how to cope and how to understand things. I did this myself. I'm a true alchemist. I truly am. There's so much you learn about yourself when you get in alignment. Yeah. The main thing I'm trying to say is that drugs and alcohol will royally fuck up your life. Do not give up on life. We are fortunate and blessed to even be given the opportunity to walk on earth, okay? And have lives. Let's make the best of our lives. God made our world amazing. It is what we choose to do with what God gifted us with. That will determine whether or not this world goes to shit. Let's not take God and his gifts for granted. So we made it to Dallas, Texas, and I was reunited with my uncle. He filled me in with things that I needed to do since my father passed away. He said that I needed to get a passport and go to Egypt as soon as possible because my brothers and my sisters were selling my father's property. He worked so hard without getting my opinion about it. My sisters and brothers didn't even tell me about it. And they didn't even include me in this. My uncle said that this was meant for me and to not let my brothers and my sisters rob me of my God-given right. I was hurt and went to messaging family members in Egypt to tell them not to sell anything and that I planned on visiting Egypt soon. Not once did any of my brothers and my sisters tell me anything about it. My brother was sending me $1,500 a month, which sucked because I wanted to invest in a home so that when I leave this world, I could leave something to my kids, and my brother had control over my share. Unc tried talking my brother into giving me all of my money. God and my father, who was watching me from heaven, knew I wasn't living right. My brother had no idea and could really care less. After my brother and my sisters once they found out that I contacted my family in Egypt, they had literally cut me off from my inheritance, and my brother said it was because I was into drugs. But as I mentioned, my brother had no idea how I was living. He's always been the one to judge me by my past, when in actuality, his past is far worse than mine. I was lucky to never catch any charges. It's not luck, y'all. I was blessed. My records are clean, and so is Weirdo's. My brother has. See, I don't even want to talk about my brother like this, almost a year from when I wrote this. I don't like to talk about them or call them out. Ugh. I'm going to because this is my truth, and then it'll never be spoken about again. It says, my brother has drug charges, speeding tickets, you name it. He has a bad record. I have never judged him. I will let him think and continue to lie to the world to make himself think that he is and has always looked out for my best interest. But I'm tired of always having his back and always sticking up for someone who's really a piece of shit for an individual. I'm not sugarcoating anything. One of these days, he's going to fall off of his horse, and I'm no longer going to be there to catch him. He wasn't there to catch me. This journey has taught me to stand up for myself and to love me. I finally know how to love myself, and I'm finally able to truly love Weirdo for who he is and appreciate all that he is. So the truth is, my brother cut me off because I caught him and my siblings going behind my back to sell my father's property. That is the truth, honest to God truth. In Egypt, my father worked so hard to leave his legacy. And I have ungrateful siblings that will never appreciate my father's hard work, so my brother cut me off to show how much control he had. Remember how, I don't know if y'all watched a couple of videos ago when I said when someone gets irate or enraged when you ask them a simple question and they can't give you a direct answer, that is because they are lying to you, they are guilty, and they are hiding a lot from you. That's what happened in our situation. It sucks, but it is what it is. So my brother cut me off to show how much control he had. I have been clean since July 4th. Okay, we're in 2023, since July 4th of 2022. So a little over a year. Thank you, Lord. It is my choice because I deserve to live. God pulled that money. God is what I'm going to say. Pulled that money from me, my inheritance. And now that I'm clean and deserving of it, my brother would promise to send me the money the following week, and then a week later he would tell me he didn't think I'd learned my lesson. He never fulfilled his promise of sending me the money. It was like he teased me. He would tell me, "Yes, I'm going to send it to you." And then he would be like, "Oh, I don't think you learned your lesson." And honestly, I didn't do anything but stand up or ask direct questions that he didn't want to give me answers to. So it was like, I'm not even gonna deal with this shit, you know? Just leave me alone. I'm doing what I need to do. Just leave me alone. I don't care about the money. I know my dad is proud of me, you know? That's how irritating it got to even deal with such a soulless person. I throw my hands up in the air. I accept the fact that I will never see my share and my brother stole my inheritance, and it's okay. But God won't allow him to live a happy, fulfilled, true, meaningful life until he changes his ways. I'm a firm believer, y'all. Karma is real. If you're trying to pretend that you're God in your life, you know, or that you can play God in someone's life, he's gonna come down. He's gonna wipe everything out until something clicks in your head and you finally do the right thing. And you remember who God is. God will put you in your place, you know? He sure as hell put me in my place. God is so good, though. I appreciate it, you know? I'm blessed for the first time in my life. I'm at peace with my spirit and soul. I can bet you $1 million. He is lost and empty. He's done it to himself. You know, I don't like that I said that, but I understand why I said that in this book. It was because I was angry, you know? Now what I do is I pray for him to wake up, you know? I pray for his healing, you know? And I leave the rest to God. Because you don't want to enable anyone's karma. Don't ever forget what people have done to you, because if they've done things this bad to you, they will do it again. Love them, pray for them, keep them at a distance, but don't you ever block their karma. God will give you enough time to make things right. It says, I no longer feel sorry for him. I just got myself saying, Narcy, no. But yeah, it's true, you know. I have faith that when all of this is over and done, I will come out victorious. God's got us. You just wait and see. Before we left Dallas, Texas, Unc told me not to worry and that he loved me like he loved his own daughter. I'm putting my trust in that. I love him too, just like I love my Baba. Baba means dad in Arabic. Yeah. Alright, so we're going into chapter 31. Do I got my vape in here? Yeah. Thanks for sticking it out, guys. We are getting there. Alright, chapter 31, Transformation. Alright, let me chew this ice. We left Dallas, Texas, and we made it to Austin, Texas. This is where we have been for the past 2 months. Now we've been here for over a year. Our Chevrolet Tahoe broke down. We have accepted the fact that we didn't just break down here for nothing. We broke down here for a reason, and this is where I finally figured out my purpose. Alright, guys, so we drove over some railroad tracks. I I think I drove a little bit too fast and it broke the frame. And literally, we broke down in the middle of the road in front of a church parking lot. And people pushed us into the church parking lot. We slept there for a few days until somebody brought us this jar with $300. Let me finish the story. God's good, you know? Alright, so, let's see. And this is, okay, everything that is happening is necessary for our transformation. We've been sober since July 4th, 2022, and we are stronger than ever. Spreading our gift, homeless but grateful for this journey. It humbled us so much and has us in love with each other and God to a point I never knew even existed. We're figuring out how to find shelter. They don't piss where they... Wait. See, there's a lot of missing stuff in this book. It could have been a lot better. But I'm just grateful I got something out here, you know? Okay, let me see. Oh, I'm telling a story about what we're seeing. Okay, we're figuring out. Okay, this is what I meant to say. So we were learning where to sleep, okay? We would walk down the street and we would smell pee. Because people, you just pee anywhere, everywhere, right? We've learned that homeless people don't pee where they sleep. So if there's pee somewhere, there's no one sleeping there. That's what I meant to say. To my left, there's a woman pouring her coffee into her Gatorade bottle. I don't blame her. Day in the life of the homeless, you need fuel, and coffee is our crack. And at least this woman wasn't using drugs. From what I could tell, she was sober, just mental. God bless her. I was watching her apply her makeup, this bright red lipstick. I just knew if her hand slipped, it would get all over her teeth and it would be a disaster. I was watching her, watching everyone around us from the corner of her eyes. She was beautiful and strong. She was posing with one hand holding on to a bike rack, her other hand on her hip. I'm not sure why she's dressed like that. The weather was extremely hot outside. She wore a hat like Hepburn. I caught myself muttering prayers for this woman. For some reason, I felt she needed protection. Guys, this is when I learned my purpose. When I started praying for strangers. It becomes magical. Because there's healing in you. When there's so much love, when you are love, your heart can heal so many people. Your truth can heal so many people. Everyone started gathering up to get in line for coffee, and then we all would head into the First Methodist Church for biscuits and gravy. Everyone was handed a different colored ticket. Mine was green, Weirdo's was orange, and when they called your color, you could get your food. My color was called first. There stood 4 elderly people on one side of this buffet serving us breakfast and blessing us. You got 3 biscuits, 3 sausage patties, eggs, and sausage gravy. My God, it was an amazing experience. And I look at it as an experience. I not once did I look at it as punishment. You know, I learned really quick that God was teaching me things. These were lessons that I had to learn because for the longest time I forgot God. I took everything for granted, you know. This is definitely a humbling experience to stand in line with hundreds of other homeless people to get food when in fact you are truly hungry and cold and dirty and, you know. It's beautiful. There was also a line for showers, but if you weren't at the church early enough, you couldn't make the list, and you didn't get a shower. Weirdo and I decided every Monday and Wednesday night we would sleep outside of the church so that we wouldn't miss the showers or the breakfast. Literally, people would camp outside of this church. We were one of them. They were real showers, not mobile showers like most places. A lot of the places, like for the homeless, there will be certain times during the week, days that they will have like this mobile trailer that has showers in it, and they drive around and park at certain destinations, and you had to be there at a certain time and you could take showers, but the showers were so uncomfortable and the water was not really hot, but it was a shower. But you know, when you go to the Methodist church, it's a real shower. It was really hot, and it was just like, it was great. It was a good feeling after not having a shower, maybe for a week. Sometimes we go 2 weeks. Yeah. You gotta look at it this way. I'm coming from a girl that used to be in the mirror for hours putting on makeup and thought my shit didn't stink, to a girl that didn't wear makeup or didn't care to because there was worse going on, you know, being homeless. And I learned to appreciate myself, you know, without makeup, and love me, you know. I never I stopped shaving my legs. It was a complete rebirth, y'all. Yeah. But it is true, guys. You have to be beautiful on the inside before your light can shine on the outside. Because an ugly person on the inside doesn't mean shit. Or a pretty person on the outside, if you're ugly on the inside, you're rotten. You know? You've got to be beautiful on the inside. They were real showers, not mobile showers like most places. They were clean and the water got hot, and stayed hot. The pavement and our sheet and pillow became best friends during those nights of the week. I got my food. Weirdos finally made it into the shower, and I sat at a table with this blonde guy. He was perhaps in his late 30s. He was dressed in work clothes and painted all over his clothes, and paint all over his clothes. I'm right now. I'm telling you guys stories about people that we met. You know, homeless people that we met along the way. He was perhaps in his late 30s. He was dressed in work clothes and paint all over his clothes. I greeted him, and he got up and walked away. I was like, huh? Am I that scary looking? You know? Later on, the same man and I had a conversation. He walked up to Weirdo and me, showing us this pocket knife that he had, and was trying to sell it. His name was Brian. Brian said that's how he makes his beer money. He buys knives and sells them on the streets. I recognize the pocket knives because when I worked at the truck stop, we sold the same kind. He continued to tell us about another knife he had and how the color of the handle was off a little, and he sold it quickly. He said OCD had ruined every part of his life because nothing seemed perfect to him anymore. He had lost his wife because he cheated on her. He was looking for something better. He lost his relationship with his kids because he couldn't accept them for who they were. He said OCD royally fucked him. So now he was homeless on the streets. He was an alcoholic, and he's constantly at war with himself in his head. God bless him. Guys, I want to talk about something too. I am guilty of cheating in past relationships, okay? But I've learned on this journey to truly take care of this vessel that we've been blessed with, you know? I forgive myself for the promiscuity that I have done in my life. You can get back on track, okay? You can. Like now, I'm engaged. Been with my partner for almost 4 years, and we've been celibate, and we'll probably get married next month. But you know, this is how you want you know, if you really follow the plan, God's divinely orchestrated plan for you, you will feel light as a feather. You will become pure again, or very, very close to it, you know, and you will make it through those gates, guys. It's a journey, but it's worth it. It's worth it. God bless him. In the beginning of this journey, we were quick to give our food away to homeless people on the streets, but we learned quick that if we could get up every morning at the crack of dawn and get in line at a church or wherever to get fed, find a sidewalk to sleep on, and not get robbed or kicked off the premises, clothed, take showers, get bus passes, get a job, and still be homeless and make it to work each day, even if it meant jumping in a swimming pool to get cleaned up before work. Most of these people can do it too. Yeah, because I mean, it's hard out here, but if you put in the effort, God will meet you the rest of the way, you know? But a lot of people out here, they're just not ready for that transformation, you know? You can pray for them, though. We need to still pray for them, you know? Because I know a lot of people have prayed for me in my life. People I don't even know, you know? Because I know I pray for people that walk by that I don't even know. But if I see that they're limping or they're struggling, I pray for them, you know, and those prayers, God hears them. It's all about discipline. God wants us to be disciplined. That was something Weirdo and I weren't before this journey. Now we wake up at 3:30 a.m. every morning to get our day started, and we don't even need an alarm clock. We just woke up at that time. All I'm trying to say is most of these people can. There are just a lot of lazy people who are more than able to work. I'm not being ugly. I'm stating a truth, okay? A lot of homeless people too. They get content, or they get complacent is the correct word, and they they get used to people giving them everything, and that's just what they're used to, and they don't try to do anything for themselves, you know? Yeah. It says that gave up a long time ago. They would rather use drugs and steal to make it. These types take advantage of phenomenal resources Austin, Texas has to offer and ruin it for the people that are actually trying. But then you also have the mental and elderly that are homeless, yet we don't mind helping them. I don't mind helping them because they can't help themselves, you know? Some of these elderly and mentally ill families don't even know they are out on the streets. Some are so old they don't even know how to communicate to anyone and tell them how to reach their families. We learn quickly where to draw the line when it comes to helping people. This is where discernment plays out, you know? It's a blessing to have discernment. We slept in the pool chairs around the La Quinta Hotel pool one night. We got woken up by the receptionist there and were made to leave. At least we got 4 hours of good sleep. If only we slept in the chairs closer to the office so that when the receptionist looked out the door, she would have stared straight and wouldn't have seen us. Nonetheless, we're just thankful we made it another day. Guys, 4 hours of sleep being homeless is awesome. You know, 4 hours of sleep is like heaven when you're homeless, you know, without any body waking you up or kicking you off the premises. It's awesome. The only time we sleep past 3:30 a.m. Oh, wait. Yeah. Mosquitoes have been the death of us. Yeah, they were bad right when we first got out here. Excuse me, I'm getting sleepy. But I'm determined and I'm resilient. I want to share this story, guys, because I don't want y'all to have to go through this. Because in the beginning of our journey, it seemed like any and everyone on the streets itched, scratched, and had blisters on their bodies. I judged and automatically assumed they did drugs. This is how close-minded and in a box I was coming from Alabama, you know, and judgmental. And, I was awful. You learn the difference quickly after you have walked in their shoes and had to sleep outside every night while getting attacked by monster mosquitoes. Guys, the mosquitoes here in Austin, Texas are deadly. And then this is a story. Emily, you're the fucking reason I lost my home. You and your fucking police. This black homeless guy shouted as he was throwing chairs across the church cafeteria and exited the church. Accountability is a hard pill for a lot of the homeless to to swallow, including myself. In the beginning, it was tough. But yeah, I feel like I handled it a lot quicker and a lot better with more understanding than a lot of people, because I was able to come out here and help a lot of people, wake up a little. We're grateful to walk in the same shoes as all of the less fortunate. God made all of this necessary for a transformation. God is a genius. None of us are better than the other. We are all the same. We just struggle and fight different battles and demons than others do. Everyone has a story and should be heard and not made to feel invisible. Guys, I see you when you feel like nobody else does. I see you. Okay? I exited the church to go and smoke a cigarette, and outside of the church, I listened to two men talk. Man, do you have a bolo? One black male says to another. I think he was asking for a bowl, which is a chalet or a glass pipe. That was what I called them, or most meth heads in Alabama called them. When I say most meth heads, I was one too, so I'm not downing anyone, you know? Um, I never heard of bolo, and I was sure he was asking for dope. I'm pretty sure the other guy realized I was eavesdropping and decided to make a big deal out of it and turn the heat from himself, so he went on to shout, "Don't be asking me for that. Just because I'm black doesn't mean I smoke dope, motherfucker." He went on to say, "Bitch, you're profiling me." That was the first time I ever heard that, and I was just like, okay, bitch, you're profiling me. I never used the term profiling me. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Mind you, these men were smart. They were quick to go from pissed to calm. The conversation was diverted to another homeless guy, and the two guys started talking about bicycles and how the tires were made in Germany. Here on the streets of Austin, Texas, bikes to the homeless are like gold. No, they really are. You have to keep a close eye on them, or else the dope dealer that sold it to you would steal it back and sell it to someone else, or sell it to you again. Depending. It's that bad. And the cycle repeats itself. It's crazy. Weirdo and I borrowed my boss's nephew's Schwinn bike. It was beautiful to DoorDash on and make some money for food, and everyone was checking the bike out. Weirdo and I would sleep with one hand through each tire. That was short-lived because we knew if the bike got stolen, we couldn't afford to pay it back at this time, so we returned the bike. Alright, guys, I'm going to cut this off. We're going into Chapter 32, Sumo, Cocaine Addict. I may make one more video tonight. I'm not quite sure. I'm exhausted. Thank you for listening to me, listening to my journey. It gets better, guys. Don't give up. Please like and subscribe to my channel. This is just the beginning. I'm learning a lot of new things about all this technology stuff, and I want to be the change that I wish to see in the world. And if y'all could see through my eyes, my God, you would want to too. I love you. Bye.